Hey guys, Albert from the Moto Academy here. Inside, outside, which do I take? Why would I take it? This video will explain it all. If you guys like this video that you're about to watch and you want to see instructional content like this and 200 plus hours of other instructional content, go inside of the Moto Academy app, go to club.themotoacademy.com, subscribe today, and enjoy this video. All right, line selection featuring Fire at Will. He's going to be Mr. Ask the Questions today. When you're presented an opportunity where you have a bunch of different options, don't be afraid to explore. And I guess for a second, I'll just talk about where I just went and why and which one I would probably prefer if I had to be turning consistent laps. Do you have any questions right off the bat?
What's the race line?
That's tough. So I think that would be dependent on bike, to be honest. So if I run a 450, I would do nothing but this inside because the double out would be a lot easier, and then therefore you could get the triple after it a lot easier. This inside line on the 250F to go double and barely make the double, then I have to stretch the triple after it, is a lot of work. And so if I were in an outdoor race where I had to do a 30-minute moto, I wouldn't have the energy to do that every lap. So I would probably start on the 250, start going outside. So I guess that would bring me to point one is recognize your skill level, recognize the power that you're on with the bike that you're on, and think about a line that you can hit, not 1 out of 10 times, but a line that you could hit 10 out of 10 times and be able to do it consistently. I was exploring around, and each option that I took, I was like, that felt pretty good. Oh hey, quick break from this video. We're giving away a trip. We're flying somebody in from anywhere in the world. All you have to do to win this all expense paid trip is go to club.themotoacademy.com, subscribe to the Moto Academy app, and we're picking a winner on September 15th. These things have been awesome. We've flown people in from everywhere. Don't miss out. You get a chance to train with Moto Academy team. And if you live international, don't worry. We pick people from literally anywhere in the world. Club.themotoacademy.com. Subscribe before September 15th. See you guys in there. Which one do you think would be the fastest?
For me or for you?
Well, I guess watching me, which one would you guess was the fastest?
You were fast on that inside, man.
Yeah.
I so in and out of the corner. And it's hard to judge, but it seems like if you can make that seat bounce work for you, the inside line was the faster line of the two, is what I would guess.
I would probably guess the same. I feel like I'm coming into it a little slower where I can, if I go outside, I can land that double on the throttle pretty hard. Yeah. But then you're going so far out of the way.
That's what I'm saying. Because that berm is way up there. And then it makes you got that triple out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if that triple is faster. I would have to see you next to somebody, I feel like.
But don't be afraid to try different lines. I think when I come to the local track and I look around and watch others, they pick one line and stay in it, even if it's the worst line of all time. So don't be afraid to bounce around and see what works best for you.
On that, when would you abandon a line? Like what parameters would come into play when you would say, I'm not going to use this line anymore?
Like, well, this rut, for example, if the entry got so chopped up to where it was like not making sense, or maybe even worse, entry chop and braking bumps don't bother me nearly as much as acceleration bumps. So if this started to really harden and form craters of holes on acceleration, then I'd be like, all right, I think it's about time to get out of this rut. Where even for me on the Supercross suspension, that outside rut, all the way around the outside, is starting to get that way, because you can see it's way harder than this one.
Yeah.
And with that, it's starting to kind of like chunk out. For me, there's nothing worse, and nothing will get me tired more quickly than acceleration chop.
That's, yeah. That's actually one of the, I built them into my track. To purposely try to wear myself out. But
it's hard because what it does is that will so easily force you to kind of like almost slide you off the back of the bike by accident. You have to be really, really conscious of putting weight into your outside foot to hold yourself in position in that chop, or else you'll just be death gripping with your arms.
And so with the other question I had, if you're coming out of, say like right here got chopped up, or even say you're going wide, and you're seated, what's the, how do I word this? What's the technique to put into play to really smooth those acceleration bumps out so you're not hammering them?
90% of the weight in your foot and your leg, 10% of it in your butt. So that way, as you're hitting the bumps, what it'll actually do is your butt will leave the seat and then come back to the seat, and your leg will be the shock absorber. If you're putting 80 or 90% of the weight in your butt and only 10% or 20% in your leg, which is most people, then you're gonna end up in a situation where you no longer have that shock absorber, and you're just, and you're feeling it through everything. I've learned to get pretty good at that and just really pay attention. Same thing when you see a pro jump and land with their foot out for a corner.
Yeah.
They're not landing with the weight in their butt. That would hurt. They're landing with the weight all in their foot. Even though it looks like they're sitting down, it's almost like a fake sit. There's so much weight into that outside leg that they're lifting their butt off the seat.